Sometimes the key to hard things is simply just to try coping with it, whether school, work, or just anything. And it's especially important during back to school. We will talk about what coping is and tips for coping with everyday things right after our introduction.
Gym time? Yeah. Podcast time? Definitely. Time to work those confidence muscles.
Okay, bet. The Davis Night Show, yeah! Welcome back. I am your host, Davis Knight, and this is episode 158 of the Davis Knight Show. And if you are new here, what we are about to jump into is called our You Issue, where today we will be talking about, you guessed it, what is coping and tips on how to cope with everyday life. Starting with the definition, according to Merriam-Webster, to cope means to deal with and attempt to overcome problems and difficulties. For example, learning to cope with the demands of her schedule. You can cope with anything. Coping with your feelings means like managing your feelings and handling big things or changes in your life. For example, coping with back to school. The routine can sometimes be hard, and against your will, you wake up, go to the kitchen, eat a breakfast while being rushed, hop in the car just to not be late, or work something hard you must do. I know many people in my family who have had times where they have dozens of unread emails they must get through. It's a grind, or maybe coping with not making the school team, or maybe coping with the loss of someone important in your life. The ability to cope can make your life much easier too, but also know something. Coping is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about facing the hard thing and moving through it one step at a time. Some coping methods I will list right here. Tip number 1, say out loud or write down what is actually bothering you. For example, I'm stressed about the new schedule. I'm disappointed I didn't make the team. Naming it takes away some of its power. Tip number 2, remember to take it easy. Instead of, I have to soak this in all at once and everything that could happen to me, or I need to get this all done in a year, or this is ruined for me, or I ruined this, try and think, I can take it slow and easily. I can realistically do this in a day, this in the next, and this in the day after that, or I still have a chance to see what's ahead of me in the future, or there's still time to repair what was ruined emotionally. Tip number 3, build a simple routine or game plan that helps you. Especially for routines or changes of plans, try to adjust and be prepared. For example, for school. Pack your backpack the night before. Lay out your clothes. Eat something for breakfast, even if it's quick. These tiny habits reduce the chaos and give you a sense of control. Tip number 4, do things with your body. Go outside, walk, ride a bike, do jumping jacks, have a drink or snack. Your brain loves movement, and for that matter, it needs it. It's like plugging your device into a charger, but for your mind. You will feel so much better. Tip number 5, sometimes talking to someone about your feelings is much better than keeping it inside of you, especially a parent or God. Tip number 6, don't beat yourself up. Remember, you can give yourself grace, or just try giving your brain a reset. And if you see something bothering someone else, even if it's a problem, do not beat them up over it. And lastly, my final tip number 7, remember, you can overcome things. Hard things don't last forever. You can get used to things no matter how bad it is. Remember, no matter if you're a kid or a centenarian, I am here for you. God is here for you, and just give everything your all every day. Lastly, when coping, remember the power of prayer and the power of God, like I talked about in tip number 5. With that, I have a few scriptures. Philippians 4:6-7. Do not worry. Pray about everything is said. God's peace will guide your heart. Or Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear. God is with you, and He will strengthen and help you. And with that, my challenge to you is the next time something is hard, use the methods I gave above to help cope with whatever is bothering you. And let me know how you did in the comments below. And that is the end of our U issue. But don't click off just yet. There's still tons of fun things along the way, such as news in a simple perspective, trivia, jokes, tech tips, and more. Starting with What in the World, where we discuss all things news. The first thing of news I'd like to talk about is Trump is moving to lower beef prices. He announced that the U.S. will temporarily allow 300,000 metric tons of imported ground beef to come in without the higher tariffs for 90 days. The goal is to increase the amount of beef available and bring grocery store prices down, although some American cattle ranchers oppose the move because they worry cheaper imports could hurt them. In some more news, the U.S. overdose deaths continue to fall. This is encouraging news in the fight against deadly drug overdoses. New CDC preliminary data estimated 68,641 overdose deaths for the 12 months, ending February 2026, down about 12% from the year before, continuing a major decline in fentanyl. Fentanyl is an extremely powerful opioid drug. Doctors can use it safely as medicine, but illegally made fentanyl can secretly be mixed into other drugs or fake pills, and even a very small amount could cause a deadly overdose. Fentanyl has been a major driver of the overdose crisis, so continuing decline is significant. In some even more news, this one's pretty sciencey. Scientists are making cyborg cockroaches that can work underwater. Researchers have developed tiny equipment that allows remote-controlled cockroaches carrying electronics to operate underwater. Ew, but also, what a breakthrough as well. It has the hope that someday they could help search places that are too dangerous or too difficult for people to reach. I wonder if this will ever go mainstream in the technology it's required. All right. In some social media news, a dangerous TikTok driving trend is raising alarms. Officials in Ireland are warning about teenagers filming dangerous driving stunts for social media after a fatal crash involving teens. It's becoming another example of how chasing views and likes online can turn a seemingly funny video into a genuinely dangerous situation. On TikTok, by the way, what is going on with TikTok? I was just reading the other day that TikTok is getting sued for failure to protect children's privacy. Seriously, it's always TikTok, 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 TikTok. In some last news of the day, Chick-fil-A announced a chicken and waffles meal today for their fall thing, and I think it ends in November-ish. Actually, I lied. That wasn't our last piece of news. In the Iran conflict, Trump is asking others for help, and quite literally, South Korea refuses, despite the U.S. supporting South Korea and providing them with thousands of troops if South and North Korea get in trouble. By South Korea refusing to help us with Iran, Trump gets upset and calls them freeloaders, and even called North Korea unthreatening and respectful, which is super crazy because almost no one likes North Korea, no matter your political party. I think this is just built off of anger, but still, I don't want people taking advantage of our great country. And that concludes our What in the World. And now that I have filled your brain with information, it's time to use your brain with unrelated trivia. Question 1. What is the only letter that does not appear in the name of a U.S. state? B, Q, X, or L? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is Q. Every other letter in the alphabet appears in at least one state name, but Q never does. Question 2. What company owns Lamborghini, Bentley, Porsche, and Audi? A, Ford, B, Volkswagen, C, Mercedes-Benz, or D, Toyota? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is B, Volkswagen. Volkswagen is much more than the traditional Volkswagen cars. It controls some of the most famous luxury and performance car brands in the world. Question 3. Which Michael Jackson album is the best-selling album of all time worldwide? A, Thriller, B, Beat It, C, Off the Wall, or D, Bad? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is A, Thriller. Released in 1982, Thriller became a worldwide phenomenon and remains the best-selling album ever. Question 4. What two U.S. presidents were both born in 1946 and later faced each other in a presidential election? A. Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush. B. Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan. C. Gerald Ford and Richard Nixon. Or D. None of the above. I'm going to give you minutes to think. Okay, the correct answer is D. None of the above. This is a trick question. Bill Clinton and George W. Bush were both born in 1946, but they never ran against each other. Clinton ran against George H.W. Bush in 1992, while George W. Bush didn't run for president until 2000. Question 5. What famous fast food restaurant opens its first ever location in Florida in 1954? A. McDonald's. B. Burger King. C. Wendy's. Or D. KFC. I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is B. Burger King. The first Burger King opened in Miami in 1954, and the company eventually grew into one of the biggest fast food chains in the world. And that concludes our trivia. Let me know how many you got right. Now time for fun stuff. Are you ready to smile? I'm going to tell a few jokes. First, a college student calls his dad and says, "Dad, I need $500 for a book." His dad says, "For $500, it better read itself." Next, a teacher asks the student, "Name 2 pronouns." The student did not know who the teacher was talking to, so he replies, "Who, me?" The teacher says, "Correct." Get it? Because who and me are both pronouns. Lastly, my teacher said there's no such thing as a stupid question. So the student asked, "If nobody shows up for school, do we all get perfect attendance?" Like, what? That one is a stupid question. Now time for the tech tip. On Apple devices, do you have a time where you can't have your device turn off? For example, if you're watching a video and need to keep it on to go away from something without it timing out? Well, I don't recommend it all of the time because it kills your battery if left unattended and if plugged in can still affect your device's health. Plus, it's constantly unlocked, meaning someone could snatch it without entering your password. During times when you need it, you can turn auto lock off and set your own amount of time before locking by going to Settings, Display and Brightness, and then Auto Lock. From here, you can set the amount of time and whether your device should shut off when its case is closed. I see a lot of cases that cover the screen or have keyboards that close. And when this happens, it's most likely that you're done. But maybe you're listening to something or running something on your device, like a timer in an app that does not run in the background. All right, before we close down today's episode, I'd just like to say that I have partnered with Advent Health, a nonprofit hospital to help destigmatize children's mental health. And you can help out by donating today. To donate, please go to www.thedavisnightshow.com. And then, under the About Us section, you'll see the link to donate. And if you can't donate, please remember to rate and review my podcast, as that really helps out a lot. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Okay, that's it. Now go and have a great day. Make sure to smile. Bye, everyone. See you next time.